Alrighty. Well, we are live. I am very excited for this. We are going on our first draft of the year. I'm about to share my screen here so that we can actually see it. We got 7 more people till this draft starts, which is fantastic because we can yab a bit, chat. This is obviously two guys, one pod. We're hitting you with the draft a week for the rest of this offseason. I am hyped to be here. Our subscribers have been going up because of all of these prospect films. Scott's been doing a couple of those himself. I'm excited to draft some rookies in this one. I feel like they're going to be going a little late, but this is my first underdog draft of the year. Is this your first one?
Not my first, but I think I've taken a little bit slower of a pace this year. Going to Japan in a couple of weeks, and I don't want a bunch of slow drafts going on while I'm in Japan, especially with some new rules I've noticed with them not letting you take draft picks when you're in areas where there is no drafting allowed. So uh, I'm liking the initial pace, feel like I'm kind of just getting a feel for it. But the hardest part is not knowing where people are going to be. So you're drawn towards stacking. It usually helps you make decisions. And right now, there's a lot of question marks out there.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm pretty excited for that, though. I feel like this is the best market that you can have for one of these drafts because, like, when you're starting to go early, you don't know where the rookie landing spots are. If you have some conviction on the talent profile, like you can get a pretty nice value. So I'm hoping that I get a couple nice rookie picks. I'm normally the first guy to take an older player, so this is going to be it's new fertile ground for me. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I've definitely found myself going more towards the older guys this year, though I'm loving the third years. A little bounce back for that class. And we talked a lot about the running backs for last year's draft class, and they all showed something, but they weren't great. And because of that, all of their draft prices are deflated still. So I think there's a lot of good opportunities in those second year backs and those third year receivers.
Yeah, I would say so too. And we're gonna see where they actually end up. Like underdog ADP is an unsolved equation. So we're gonna see like where we end up with values here. I'm excited to get some feedback from the stream too. We've had a pretty active audience of late. So if you think me or Scott absolutely donked this one, please let us know in the comments. If you see some silly picks, I'd assume they're going to be coming from me. Like Scott's a professional here, former Chav champ on the stream, so we're we're gonna really rely on you guys to let us know how we did because we got about 12 months until we're gonna know.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll have a bunch of these, and maybe one of them will be a winner. But I remember last year we drafted the Greyhound on here, and it was so fun to look back at some of your thought process. I really ended up liking my team, even though it didn't get anywhere close to. And he did advance, but wasn't able to get too far. So fun to have these on record this year. I'm excited to do these more often. Of course, this first one I got two drafts going at the same time because we couldn't quite hit the same draft room.
Yeah, we must have just missed it by a split second there. That's
Well,
it's one of the problems we got there, but it happens. Yeah, on the bright side, I get a little advantage here. Like it's good to have Scott going in two of these because then I have that strategic advantage where normally Scott would be sharp, but I get half of Scott, which keeps the playing field pretty level.
I'm gonna see if I can mentally just forget about this other one as it gets going. Uh, I'm noticing my rankings are doing well to get it started, but those kind of disappear at 90. So we'll see. It's the four position, so there'll be some time off. What are some players you're liking early? Have you checked out ADPs at all, or uh,
So little, a little bit.
anything? Any plans for this draft?
You know, no major plans. I've mostly been looking at Superflex ADP. I've been getting into Dynasty a bit more. Oh, and we are 1 minute from starting. This is exciting. Oh, you're the 101. Nice. We're going to be sniping each other a little bit here. If you're wondering,
Excellent.
Chonks is his underdog name. Oh, we have Dead Man Soul in here. Shadow, big fan of the show, has entered this draft, so that's really cool. We got all three of us in the first half of this one, so it's going to be fun. You know, early on, I've really been drawn to just letting value hit. I know that's like a cop out answer this early in the season, but really there hasn't been a value pick that has stood out to me in the early rounds of the draft. Whereas late in the draft, I have about 20 guys that I'm looking to get.
I definitely love a bunch of the first names. Running backs, I feel like I need at least one, probably two in these first couple of rounds because there's definitely they fall off fast this year. Um, but if you're getting CD Lamb at 8, I mean, that's pretty awesome. And I've definitely been enjoying Justin Jefferson. He's at 14 now, but he was 16, 17 not too long ago. And I just noticed that Brock Bowers and Trey McBride have swapped slots. Looks like I auto drafted Bijan. Perfect way to start.
Exactly what you're going for. I got Jamar Chase there at the 103, feeling pretty good about that one. Hey, would you have gone Bijan there? I got you were a little bit distracted for that pick.
Yeah, I'm going. I want a running back in that first spot. Watching Bijan play is so fun every week. He can hit a long shot. He's smooth with the ball in his hands. He's gonna get it thrown to. He's gonna get it run. Like he's just fun to root for. And when you got 101, 102, 103, you just got to go with what you like.
Yeah, I agree with that. And rounding out the rest of these first couple picks, we have Puka Nakua, then Deadman Soul taking JSN. Solid value. I like JSN at 5. I wonder if this was his ceiling outcome because I don't know. I wasn't the biggest JSN guy last year, but we're definitely going to see if he can repeat that with Sam Darnold. I'm skeptical, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Actually, yes, I can. Ooh, that's fun. It's a nice draft board there. Yeah, it, I like that value. How are you feeling about the rest of this first round? Because we have Jonathan Taylor, CD Lamb, Ashton Jeanty, James Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Amon Ra, and Devon Achan wrapping it up. And any of those guys feel like reaches to you?
I don't see a lot of reaches. I like to see Genty going here at the 1.4. He showed a lot, had a lot of volume last year. We did see some explosive like we were hoping for. And the sky's the limit, right? So that seems like someone
Yeah,
you want to be taking early. I see McCaffrey slip to 10 here. I think that's an awesome
feels
pick in the
great.
10 hole. McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson start is it feels like a good place to be. Uh, I still like Achan, incredibly consistent last year. Of course, we're seeing the coaching change, and Malik Neighbors went at 13th this time, so he's starting to move back up the board with people, not overreacting to his injury. I noticed that I haven't been drafting him too much, but that seems a little short sighted of me here in the 13th spot. I think is a good spot. But I mean, you love all these names to get started. Maybe Chase Brown is earlier than in most drafts, but
Oh my.
Jefferson
I
15.
didn't
I
even
love
see
the
him at
upside of
2-2.
Hampton. McBride, we saw what he did last year.
Oh my. Chase Brown at 2-2 feels like a reach and a half.
Yeah, that was a little early. Chase Brown at 2-2. Incredible. Sometimes this is like every everyone drafts in the same manner. So this team will be unique because not a lot of teams have Amon Ra and Chase Brown.
Who am I going here? Brock Bowers is at the top of this board, but I do really love Nico Collins. You know what? Screw it. I'm going wide receiver heavy. I like the wide receivers early in underdog drafts. I'm going to hope that somebody falls back to me.
Love that pick. I really think he's being undervalued. Um, let's see here.
Who you got
Definitely
here?
thinking of taking a running back in one of these next two picks. The question is, do I want to take two running backs in these next two picks? Maybe let's try something we haven't done yet. Um, Bucky Irving
Well, you already auto
and
drafted Bucky.
yeah, no, we're good there. We wanted Bucky, and you know what? Let's see here. We're gonna go
Ah,
with the big dog. So
you
we're
got me
going
there.
triple
Damn.
RB to get this one going.
All right. Well, Josh Allen in the third round is tempting, but I really do like the I like some of the running back values late. I'm gonna go Olave. Olave in the third round after that great season from Shuck. It's weird going three wide receivers early. I don't think that that's my normal strategy, but it feels right. Like Chase, Nico Collins, and Olave is quite a pen of receivers to start with.
Well, we've seen a lot of uh, running back stay healthy the last couple years, and we all know that once something starts to trend, it's going to go the other way. So the triple wide receiver start, something that became very common, will probably be less common this year. Uh, I like the move.
Yep. Well, we got some commentary on Josh Allen falling late. I agree with that, but yeah, underdog is sharp as marketplace. But the question I have for you, Scott, is Rashi Rice at 3-6. I was having some arguments with people because he goes like as late as 5 and some super flex. But he does go in the third round a lot of the times. And I don't know, it feels like last year. It doesn't feel like sustainable risk. How are you handling Rashi this year? And we have Scott switching his internet over, so I'm gonna vamp for a bit. Yep. For the rest of these picks, in the second round, we had Malik Neighbors, Chase Brown early, Justin Jefferson, Marion Hampton, Trey McBride, Drake London, Saquon Barkley, George Pickens in the second round. Love that pick. Jeremiah Love falling all the way at 2-9. I was hoping he would fall at 2-10. I got Nico Collins at 10. Brock Bowers goes at 2-11. I was a little bummed by that one. Bucky Irving and Derrick Henry round out Scott's RBs. Kenneth Walker goes in the early third. And then we have Olave, Jacobs, Josh Allen, Rashi Rice. Again, really early for Rashi. Brees Hall at 3-7, A.J. Brown at 3-8, Lad McConkey 3-9, Kyron Williams 3-10, T. Higgins 3-11, and Garrett Wilson 3-12. And we have Scott back here, and he has better Wi-Fi, so you'll get to hear him too. Oh, we got Jamie on the stream here. We got Chev. Love Jamie and Chev. Fantastic to have him on here. Let's see where I'm going next. I'm going to need to take a player that isn't a wide receiver real soon here.
Are you sure?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm feeling a little frisky today. Travion Henderson screams my name, but
Flowers going there. That was good. I guess
I
he
know.
probably wasn't going to make it all the way down.
You know what? You know what? Screw it. I'm going to trust it. Travion Henderson. Believe the hype. How are you feeling about Travion? Or actually, you focus on your pick. Let's see what you got here, Scotty. I think we have a frozen version of Scott's face. Oh, Lamar Jackson there. I was considering him at that pick. I wonder what Scott thinks about that, but we'll see because his Wi-Fi is on and off. Oh, let's see Scott's next pick here. Terry McLaurin. Okay, yeah, Terry at 5 isn't a bad value there. I'm intrigued to see how Scott's roster shapes up. This is an interesting build for him. Um, Let's see who's available here. Top of my board, I have RJ Harvey, Jalen Waddle, Carnell Tate, Quinshon Judkins. I'm kind of leaning going into that Judkins arena. Let's see if Judkins can stack another solid season here. I'll go both of the rookie running backs from Ohio State, round out my roster. Just so you know, after round 5, me and Scott has Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin. And I have Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, Travion Henderson, and Quinshon Judkins. And we have Dead Man Soul in the chat here asking if Allen was going too early. I like that value at 3.5. I was definitely thinking about him at 3.3. So I was kind of in that same boat. I could have seen him going there. That's a solid pick. Lamar Jackson at 402. It's the interesting thing about underdog drafts. You tend to see a bit less reaction. And I say that while Christian Watson goes at the 5.7. That that's one that absolutely blows my mind because you'll see Christian Watson go as low as like mid 10th round in a dynasty startup. So people are believing that hype. I certainly do think that he's a talented receiver. I was a Christian Watson guy early before it was cool, but we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping I get Scott back in this. I can see here on my screen that he is slowly dying on Wi-Fi, but I can filibuster on time here. We had in that 5th round Terry McLaurin, Makai Lemon at 5. That one got me a bit. I thought I had another round to draft him. Javonte Williams, RJ Harvey, Jalen Waddle, Christian Watson, Jordan Tyson, DeAndre Swift, Carnell Tate. Interesting to see Carnell Tate go after Jordan Tyson and Makai Lemon. DeAndre Swift feels a bit early for me. I love the Bears players, but that is pretty early on. Joe Burrow at the 5'11 also is feeling like a bit of a reach. Roma Dunze at 5'12, DK Metcalf at 6'1. I love DK Metcalf, but I don't love him that much. Tyler Warren at 6'2. Oh, and we have Scott back. That's cool.
Oh my
I've been listing
gosh.
picks. How you like my team, Scott?
God. Oh my gosh. Jeez. You pay for this internet. I might as well just rub two sticks together. It might work better. Well, let's see. Terry McLaurin, I think, was a fine pick of mine. I did want Lamar, so that worked out. But I don't know. How are you feeling? All right. So you went with a couple of these second-year running backs that we talked about to kick off the show. This looks good. I mean, what's wrong with what you got going on here? What are you going to do with this next one?
I think you know what I'm going to do here. I was thinking about Drake May, but screw it. We're going Caleb Williams. I get Caleb Williams in the 6th round. He could be QB1 this year.
I love that. And what I hate is whatever I've constructed right now. So we're just going to really keep leaning into this one. You should see what's happening in the auto draft. Last time I checked, I had 2 QBs in the first 6 picks. So, all right. Definitely taking Tootin here to just keep loading up on running backs. Just like, who cares? We're going in.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I just can't stay away. For some reason, I still think that this guy is pretty good, and his injuries do not tell the whole tale. So let's go with Ricky Pearsall.
Oh my, Ricky Pearsall that early? Tell me why, man. Ricky, I feel like you could have waited around.
No, I mean, that's where he's going ADP wise. There's no way he would have come all the way back around. When I look at the board and I see Brian Thomas and Marvin Harrison went 6 picks before, I'm just like, gross. Looks like I prefer to be there in the middle of the board where the difference between McLaurin and Waddle is not too big. I don't know. I'm kind of in on McLaurin right now. He's going 10 plus picks later than he went last year. Maybe 20 picks later than he went last year. I think that offense could be better. He was pretty good when healthy last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I don't hate where you're coming from there. And see, I think Terry is a great pick there because we've seen even the coordinator coming out and saying that Terry getting the ball 20 times throughout or 10 times a game is their top priority. That's kind of where I would be kind of looking for him too. So I think that that value is about what you want to get. We're seeing the QB run happen here though in the seventh round. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels to Drake May, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, and Jackson Dart, all before the eighth round.
Yeah, so the QB landscape is totally different this year, and this is why I don't find myself drafting a ton of Josh Allen. So in this draft, you had Allen at 29. I took Lamar at 48. The next one was Burrow at 59. And then all of a sudden, you have this whole slug of quarterbacks: Daniels, Caleb, Hurts, Dart, May, Herbert, Prescott. Mahomes just went. And all of a sudden, you'll get to pick 110, 115, and all the quarterbacks you wanted are gone. So
Exactly.
I'm probably thinking a second. I'm definitely thinking a second quarterback here on this turn. I got to turn this RB button off and pretend it's broken. So
Oh my. That's interesting because I'm willing to wait. Like every year we see a quarterback get drafted late and then end up in that top 5 or 6 range. I have Caleb. I feel fine about the guys that I have in my roster here. Oh, Quinn Johnston, top of my board. Why are people still believing in Quinn Johnston? He was fine.
yeah, but he's got good upside, which is good for best ball.
Yeah, you aren't wrong. You aren't wrong. See, I told everyone that we were going to see Xavier Worthy falling real far down the board, and I feel pretty good about that call. I'm taking Michael Pittman here. Believe in Pittman still. I still think he is a quality player.
Yep, I've been definitely taking Pittman in this spot. He's going about 5-10 picks later than last year. Seems to be in a
Oh, yeah.
similar position. Don't know about that offense to start the year. So this turn's pretty easy for me. I'm gonna
He could end
complete
up off
my
that team.
what?
He could end up
Oh,
off that team. No
he could.
guarantees on the Colts.
Very, very true. So here I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Brock Purdy. That's a pretty easy selection for me here. I really want to go ahead and take another wide receiver, but I find tight ends to be randomly thin this year. Though I do have a couple of good options. I don't know. Let's do something different. We're gonna go Kincaid. I like what Kincaid did
Okay.
down the stretch. Addison was the
Over
one who I was
Pitts.
going to take after.
Over Pitts there. Interesting.
Pitts, I just feel like we're just talking a little bit too much about one game. And I know he was all right down the stretch, but I don't know. Maybe
You know,
all's better.
you can be low on Pitts all you want. I've seen enough. All I needed was that one game.
One game in what, 4 years? I mean, would I rather have Kincaid or Ferguson 4 picks later? That seems a little bit of a stretch and no stack on it. So must be a love.
Yeah, I was wondering about that one too. Ferguson has put up some pretty bonkers numbers, so I can't hate on where they're coming from on that play, but like I also do feel like it's a little early. I think you can get them at 10. Matt Stafford, Jordan Love there. Pat Mahomes falling to 8-1 is kind of neat too. I feel like that's actually correct value.
Yeah, we don't know how healthy he is, but look at all these quarterbacks gone in the. So I mean, it's tight this year, right? 30 quarterbacks or 25 quarterbacks in these 3-4 rounds. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not what we saw last year. There was a bunch of
Oh, it's certainly not.
people like CJ Stroud going in like the one, and Trevor Lawrence 130, 160. That's not happening right now. I mean, even
No, it's
backups.
certainly not. And let's
This
scroll
team,
this down.
this random team that is auto drafting, it's all right. It's worked itself out. The 2 QBs were fine. Lamar and Drake May got even got a couple stacks in here. So
That's good. Those are good QBs. They know you well.
sometimes the auto drafts do better than the ones I participate in.
Ain't that the way it goes sometimes, man?
Especially if I could do fancy things like setting max roster construction. I mean, those are the things I really want to work on this year.
Yeah, I do love that Underdog gives all those capabilities. It's a cool platform.
Oh yeah.
All
See,
right.
I knew I was gonna
Who
really enjoy some of the names coming back here.
who am I thinking here?
Oh, I don't know. How many do I
Hate to
really
see my
enjoy?
boy Xavier Worthy get taken in this round. I thought he might fall.
Whoa, that's early for Charbonnet. Boston, great pick there.
Denzel Boston goes right before me. That's the guy I wanted. Okay. Who am I thinking here? Okay, you know what? Let's take that rookie running back, Jenna Coleman. He's gonna end up as starter for some team. You watch any Jenna Coleman film?
I haven't been watching much yet. I'm finding myself in a little bit of a rut. Kind of just use these drafts to keep me moving. But oh, Juwan Jennings right before sniping. All right, what do we like here? I think I already have one selected. Tom Zayuk. All right, so I think Jaden Higgins ended okay last year, and
Yeah.
we've been hearing a lot about Tank Dell, but I'm interested in Higgins. Toss up here between Golden, 1 game Golden, or Concepcion.
I mean, if you're asking Chev or the chat, Concepcion is the pick. But personally, I saw enough from Golden at the end of that one.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
he's
have been
taking
taking more
Casey.
Concepcion. Yeah, first rookie here. I just went with another second-year receiver. Let's get our first year here. This team's going to end up with plenty of receiver depth. There are some names that I prefer even above that in the next set of picks. So,
All
yep,
righty. Well,
so many good
I
names.
I was happy to take Coleman there. I am real unhappy to see that Emmett Johnson went at that next pick because that absolutely throttled me. I was not ready for that one. I picked George Kittle as a panic pick. I still think 11's pretty late for him, but at least it gives me about the best tight end depth I can hope for with Harold Fan, Kyle Pitts, and George Kittle. I don't need to look at tight end for the remainder of this draft.
You definitely do not, but I was hearing some good reports on Kittle. Even if he's not fully healthy week 1, I guess I should have considered him more having Brock Purdy on this team. Too bad. I guess I got a little mind focused there on catching up at wide receiver, even though there's still probably plenty of opportunity ahead.
By the way, we got a message from Jamie here. Do you guys do collabs with other best ball podcast networks? We don't, but we would love to. Me and Scott love best ball. We'd be happy to. Throwing out Adam Ranchino and Nick Blunt. Yep, 100% down, Jamie. Throw our names out there. We would be happy to do a collab. Love doing those. And Scott's definitely more of the sharper best ball mind. I'm waiting until I have enough money in my bank account to justify my best ball chops, but definitely appreciate the shout out there. Rest of our 11th round here. When Casey Concepcion, Emmett Johnson, George Kittle, Dallas Goddard, Trey Benson, Khalil Shakir, James Conner, Jalen Coker, Krosky Merritt, Tracy Gamewell, and Darnold. Anybody stand out there as a great pick to you? Emmett Johnson's my guy. I was shocked to see him go that late.
Yeah, that right there, you just hit a list of names that I don't like, which is fun. You just find random parts of the draft that you really do not enjoy. And that is a list of names for sure. Trey Benson, I don't hate. Seems like Connor may walk. Wow. Golden falling to 136. That tells you how people are feeling right now, even still yet. So I don't regret maybe laying off on him. Concepcion's value has moved up pretty dramatically since this started. Matthew Golden still continues to fall. So at this point, I don't feel the need. I will be drafting some Golden in the long run. Connor up here is an interesting coming back from injury. He's definitely has some upside, especially as a third or fourth running back on your team. I don't mind the pick. I don't know. A lot of question marks in this part of the draft for sure. And now we're in real question marks. Like, is Ayuk going to play football? Is Tyreek Hill going to be healthy enough?
What team's football?
Deebo?
Stop that.
I hope so, man. I sure hope so. My dynasty bags are really hoping so.
I'm thrilled about this pick. I wasn't expecting CJ Stroud to fall this far. I certainly wasn't expecting Kyler Murray to go before him. CJ Stroud and Nico Collins on this team feels absolutely lethal.
Yeah, I'll go along with this wide receiver thing or QB thing you have going on, and
Ooh,
happily take Cam Ward there. There's definitely
love
some
that.
stack partners coming up, and I must say I am tempted to draft Hunter because I do feel like at this point we're projecting worst case scenario, but uh,
You snipe me. You snipe me good.
Josh Downs going in the 140s is pretty sick based on the fact that he was going 90 something last year. I think he played all right. Maybe he's not gonna spike on every week, but I think he's a good piece to add, especially for a team like this one that was pretty light on wide receiver to start. Having scores that will count will be very important. But hey, look, you got my boy McMillan behind me,
I
so
I know. I
I
took
love it.
McMillan out of spite. That was a spite pick.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Jalen McMillan, another receiver that I think is undervalued. So we went from that round where I really hated all those players to we just both got QBs we liked. We talked about Ayuk probably being undervalued at this point, going at the 12-2. Brenton Strange went right after Downs. McMillan, Rashad White just went off the board. I think he's a really good value.
Oh, he's
He's as
great.
cheap as ever, and he's probably going
He
to
could
have
end
more
up
of a
in
role.
Washington with his old QB, Jaden Daniels.
So
I would
I've
love
been
that.
drafting tons of him. Spears off the board. Uh, Barf. I don't know. I've been hopeful on Spears, and this is the year I'm out on him. So he's fallen down here in the 13th.
I was hoping Kamara might drop back to me. I should have just taken him. I was between him and McMillan, and I picked McMillan to tick you off. And it didn't even accomplish that.
Oh man. Well, the auto team has officially gone from great to I picked 4 quarterbacks and now it's really screwed. Or not. Lamar, Drake May, Malik Willis, and JJ McCarthy with Gibbs, Bucky, Tootin, Monungai, Rashad White, Nico,
That's
Burden,
not a bad team.
Diggs, Shakir, Ayuk, Tesla, Kincaid, and Hunter Henry. That's pretty good.
It's not too bad. Not
One
too
too many
bad.
quarterbacks.
Well, yeah. Let's take a gander at who we got on these rosters to start. Since we have a second before our picks come up here. Um, you have Bijan Bucky Irving, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin, Bashal Tootin, Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, Kincaid, Jaden Higgins, Concepcion, Cam Ward, and Josh Downs. How are you feeling about that team?
I'm feeling pretty good. I have 4 running backs here, and I really don't have to take anyone until I really want to or find some great value. I've got 5 receivers. I'd say that coming in week 1, 4 of them could put up scores at any points. It looks like you're up, so let me not over distract here.
Oh, don't you worry. I have my guy set up. Katron Allen. Guy's a bowling ball. He was awesome at the Senior Bowl.
Excellent. Excellent. I love it. Now you're in rookie territory and I'm so lost. So what pick number do I have coming up? Am I reaching on these guys? No. Okay, cool. I'm feeling pretty good about who my picks are going to be here.
Everybody's a reach. You've picked all reaches at this point.
That's
Worst
about
draft
right.
you've ever had.
All right. So let's complete our stack here with Cam Ward and let's get Lamar a passing mate. Isaiah Likely has not been very impressive, but at 170, Mark Andrews is getting old. And I pretty much stick to only stacks with Likely, but with my belief in Lamar being undervalued, I am ending up with a lot of Ravens teams.
Yep. I wonder, how do you feel about Joe Mixon? I think I've been kind of on an island in thinking that last year was a fluke because he's had injuries left and right. I know that this isn't new for him, but like he's still Joe Mixon. Like he's not over 30 years old. He doesn't have a ton of tread on the tires. If he comes back and plays even like backup caliber football, I'd be pretty happy with having him in the 15th round.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the 15th round, which is no cost. He's got
Yeah,
upside higher than most people have in that spot. So I'm gonna be at market, I think, with Mixon. Um,
that's
I don't
fair.
know. Last year we talked about like players who can have good moves once the inevitable happens, and Mixon is definitely one of those candidates, kind of like Keenan Allen was last year. But
Love
are
that.
we sure about his health? I mean, it did sound
No,
like
not at
he
all.
is gearing to return, but I don't know. Are we sure yet?
No, we aren't sure about anything. I mean, he is a speculative ad, if anything, but if he comes back, you can't tell me that he's not as talented as Woody Marks. Like that offense produced a top 15 running back, and I think Joe Mixon could be that guy. I'll break out Jamie's comments here because he's the man. Threw in that Adam Ranchino here was on My Name Is Earl and Chipmunks movie, fantastic shows, and also that they are reaching out to us. So that's cool. I mean, we'll reach out too, but that's neat. Yeah, we have people in the stream. We have people reaching out. This is awesome, Scott. And it's the first week of best ball. It's like Christmas, but less Christmas music in the same cold weather.
Ah, thank goodness. Thank goodness. But I love it. I mean, I've only even been on the stream myself for like half the show. So it can only get better from
that
here.
that's why the number of audience is going down. Uh, who do you like from that past round? I feel like that's a lot of players that I am lukewarm on, like Joe Mixon, Jerry Judy, Calvin Ridley, Brian Robinson. That's like the best team you could make in 2023.
Yeah, I hate the turn, except for I do like the Samson pick here, and then Tank Dell going at
Love that.
182. That's another one of those similar to Mixon, where the sky is the limit. And if you waste the 16th round pick, then that's not a big deal whatsoever. Tesla at 185. I just don't understand what I'm missing here. We know this guy can score a touchdown at any point, and we've seen him have some ceiling. And so he's a perfect best ball pick. I like him in front of Trey Harris, though I do like the Trey Harris pick at 177. Not enamored with Troy Franklin. I think he was fine, but at this point in the 170s, I mean, we've seen his ceiling too, and we know that team rotates. Loving the Bigsby pick. I think Bigsby has some sneaky upside as the backup in Philly for the second year. Does Barkley need to run the ball every minute of every day? I'm not so sure.
And I've fully become a rookie guy at this point. I'm taking Nick Singleton here. Saw him at the Senior Bowl too. Some of the best hands in the class, 6'1", 220. Like he's a real NFL running back, 5-star prospect coming out of high school. Like that guy's the man. You're gonna hear me and Chev disagreeing on him at some point soon. We've been doing a little will they, won't they sort of thing, or disagree, agree, not will they, won't they. That makes the two guys, one pod sound a little two girls, one cuppy.
Oh no.
So you got Gunnar Helm. Okay. Yeah. I'm not a Gunnar Helm guy, but I've been tempted to watch his film because I've heard good things from people.
He showed enough to me last year that pairing him with Cam Ward is something I want to do in the 18th round. I don't want to be too in on him because he's probably just another guy like so many others. But last year is definitely a viable strategy to grab 3 tight ends late and make it work. I don't like that area very much this year. So I do like Njoku, who we saw go in the 15th round. I
like that
like
one too.
Barner a lot coming into this year. I feel like we've seen his ceiling, and I would expect Arroyo to take more next year. So I don't really love Barner there. We talked about likely kind of stack only. Helm, another stack only partner. Ferguson just went. I think he's an awesome pick. I'm going to try and end up with him all over the place. Decided to go with Helm in this case because of the stack, but I'll have a ton of Ferguson. We know he has ceiling as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So Dead Man Soul in the chat says he's not super happy with his team. Well, we'll throw him a bone here. Let's see what we think of it. So he has Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Daniel Jones at the QB position. RJ Harvey, Rico Dowdle, Woody Marks, Zach Charbonnet, Trey Benson, and Rashad White at running back. That is a scary RB room, but that is the best ball RB room, to be fair. JSN, George Pickens, Luther Burden, Tyreek Hill, Io Manor, Christian Kirk, Torrey Horton, and Jake Ferguson at tight end. I actually kind of love that roster. How do you feel about that one?
The tight end piece is a little scary right now.
It's
Kind of
terrifying.
talked about there not being a lot of ones deep on this board. What's crazy is I click on the roster and then all of a sudden it jumps. Christian Kirk, well, we see it's pretty differentiated from the ADP there, and it wasn't a stack partner. So maybe a mistake on that pick there. Don't think he was really necessary to the team because you have a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 1-2, a wide receiver 2 with upside. Tyreek Hill, we kind of like his prospect as long as he plays. Io Manor, a wide receiver 2-3. Torrey Horton, a 2-3. I mean, these are all good names. I definitely like the names selected here. But yeah, the Christian Kirk play. And then what are we doing for stacking at this point?
Not a lot.
Not a ton there. So I did snipe you on the Kincaid. My bad there. But yeah, see if you, with these last couple picks, if you can stack somebody with one of these guys late. Trying to think. Wade Davis just went. The Chargers are mostly gone.
I'll have to get you in some of Dead Man Soul's best ball drafts. He's been inviting me to a bunch. That guy is very tapped into the best ball market. I love to see people in it. It is so much fun. Keeps you sharp.
Then the Keon Coleman goes right before, as we spoke of the stacking.
Also, Jamie hit my team sucks too because I didn't draft. Yeah, man. Yeah, get it in. We will post up what we're hitting here for whether it's a big board or a more higher stakes draft. We want to start with a lower income one to start here. Dude, do I go Cooper Kupp or Kyle Williams here? Who calls? Who calls? You know what? Let's go Kyle.
Damn it. Damn it.
Oh, Kyle, you were hoping for Kyle? Heck yeah.
And Cooper Kupp was definitely not calling me whatsoever. Okay, now I got to go through this again. I think I just took Rashad Bateman in the other one, so I definitely don't want him again. All right, well, this is going to be a lot of tight ends, but I don't have any great names at tight end, and I think that Jake Tonjes was pretty good last year when he got the opportunities. So because he's a stack partner here, that's the only reason I would go with 4, but I think it makes a ton of sense for this team. I really only have one stack partner right now with Purdy. Anyways, and then this is somebody who I thought he was coming on a lot at the end of the year and he got hurt. New Orleans paid too much money for this guy, but he actually looked decent in the New Orleans offense. I think Vele is a good piece to this 19th round.
You know what? I'm going to say screw it. I still believe in Darnell Mooney. You can't tell me that he hasn't had great play in the past. You know, he was going around like 9-10 last year at times. Michael Penix does like him. He was injured most of the year. He could be injured anytime because he's like 6'1" and 120, but he is a dynamic receiver with the ball in his hand. So screw it. I'm happy to see it. And Mike Washington goes next. Love that as a late pick. That guy was an absolute monster at the Senior Bowl. Mike Washington, great player there. And finally, Cooper Kupp goes. Yeah, I finally gotten to the point where I can't take Cooper Kupp anymore.
Is Cooper Kupp even gonna play?
Yes, he's still gonna play. Come on. You think he's retiring?
I don't know. Go out on top.
And we got Jamie also taking Mooney in his little boards. I have control of which comments show up on the stream, so it's nice when some of them validate me.
Oh, man. Trying to figure out my last pick here. Do I take just random? Probably. I mean, 18th pick, you're looking for a unique piece. Definitely wanted to be a stack partner. You're not expecting this player to hit your lineup very often, and you just need him to hit once at the right time. And yeah, this is the piece that wins if they somehow score the week 17 touchdown and nobody else has them.
Who calls you?
I think so. There's two Baltimore guys out there. There's Rashad Bateman and Devontae Walker. Rashad Bateman had another terrible season after having one good season because he had 9 touchdowns, and he's just been pretty miserable to watch most of his career as an early Bateman guy. So Devontae Walker, I mean, the guy only got freaking 8 targets last year, but somehow had 6 catches for 136 yards and 3 TDs. And that's the random spike you need to advance one time. So as a reminder, this is a 20-round draft versus 18 that we get to after the draft. And these last guys, like I see someone took Noel. That's a great pick because we've seen him have some ceiling. Blue, we know what
Bond,
he can
not
do.
A great pick.
Isaiah Bond. Besh, I know you hate him, so that's good. But like Gesicki, not a good pick. I don't know, maybe that person has Burrow, but that guy could barely score any points for your lineup last year. I don't see why it's going to get any better. If he does stay in Cincinnati, I don't know his situation. I like Eric All better than Gesicki at this point. So Komet, same thing to me. Aaron Rodgers in the 20th, though, that's a good pick. That's a free QB.
Yeah,
20th.
I guess.
That's points.
I guess
that's
if
points.
Aaron Rodgers plays. I'm very happy to get Ted Hurst in my 7th rookie, I think, on this board.
Yeah, you love the rookies.
Yeah, man. I've become a prospect guy. You can blame Chev; he's a bad influence. But let's take a gander at these rosters. All right, let's stop sharing this screen, and we will go ahead and pull up the actual underdog one on here to quickly look over our teams to end off this stream. So we have our completed one. Let's go ahead and check out our teams. We got this big board entry, and I have my team here, but I'm going to allow for the
Young at running back. Holy moly.
Yeah, I am. I have a bit of an interesting roster. Not exactly what I would normally go with. I got Caleb Williams, C.J. Stroud, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, Jonah Coleman, Katron Allen, and Nick Singleton as my rookies at running back. I gotta have at least 3 rookies at any position group. Joe Mixon rounding that one out. Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, Michael Pittman, Jalen McMillan, Jacoby Lane, Senior Bowl star, Kyle Williams, Darnell Mooney, Ted Hurst, Senior Bowl star, and Harold Fan, Kyle Pitts, and George Kittle at tight end. Scott, break it down. Tell me why my team sucks.
2 quarterbacks. I definitely am becoming more of a 3-quarterback person. The floor that quarterbacks put up on a weekly basis, when you have 2 of them, I find to be quite the value. Your running backs are young, babies. We know Quinshon Judkins has a starting role week 1. Travion Henderson looks to be splitting work, but I don't know if you can guarantee both of them for upside. And then you have these players here who are going to take some time to come on, whether we like it or not. They might have some roles on day 1, but it's going to take time for that RB room to start scoring for you. So you're definitely looking towards your wide receivers. You know, you start a wide receiver strong. You should be able to get a scoring week from Jamar Chase every week. Nico Collins, most weeks. Chris Olave, most all weeks. Michael Pittman, Jalen McMillan, those can put up scores. And then a bunch of high upside young guys. Mooney is probably the odd man out here. Probably didn't need him with how balanced that room was. You started wide receiver early, so you didn't need the extra one late.
Yeah, I know. I just can't go less than 8 receivers. And you don't even mention the tight ends because there's nothing to say, right? This is
nothing to say here. You got a good floor with Fannin. We've seen what Pitts can do, and we know how great Kittle would be when he's back.
All right. Well, I'm going to break down yours real fast. We got Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, Cam Ward, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Derrick Henry, Bashal Tootin, and Keaton Mitchell at that running back room. We have wide receivers of Terry McLaurin, Ricky Pearsall, Jaden Higgins, Casey Concepcion, Josh Downs, Jameer Dike, Devon Bailey, Dontez Walker, and a tight end room that's kind of stacked with mid guys, Dalton Kincaid, Isaiah Likely, Jake Tonges, and Gunnar Helm. Start with QB. No notes. Love your QB room. Brock Purdy at 96 feels like value. I know he's going at 97. That seems low to me. And Lamar, if you're wrong on Lamar, whatever. if you're right on Lamar, that is the best pick in this draft. Cam Ward should put up some reasonable weeks. Not a bad pick there. I think he could have gone a little later, but it doesn't hurt you. Running back room, it's rare to say Scott's going RB bully, but he is here. Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, and Derrick Henry is about the most high testosterone start you can have there. Rashad White's walking in free agency, so should be getting full Bucky Irving. And Bashal Tuden could carve out a bigger role for himself there, especially with ETM potentially leaving in free agency. Keaton Mitchell gives you a little bit of that handcuff value. I'm not a huge handcuff guy, but we'll see.
More of like
and
a
wide
stack
receiver,
breakaway guy
yeah, that's
in the
fair.
off days. I mean, we know Derrick Henry takes half the season to get going. So, but if Lamar's moving and that offensive moving is moving, he should pull back with it each week.
Yeah, you know who I don't think is moving? Your wide receiver room. Terry McLaurin, I love that pick at 49. I feel like he is a good value there, especially if Jaden Daniels stays healthy. He is probably bona fide to be a top 16 receiver, no doubt. Ricky Pearsall, I feel like that's a reach. I'm not a Pearsall guy. I just haven't seen enough. But with Ayuk leaving in free agency and Kittle out for some time, I I don't hate the pick. There is upside there. Jaden Higgins, you took him a bit early, but I do love the talent there. Athletic freak. Speaking of athletic freaks, you got Casey Concepcion. If Concepcion lands in the right offense, he will be utilized as a wide receiver one. We'll see if he does end up in that spot. I'm a little bit worried about landing spot, but his film's pretty good. Josh Downs, I rinse and repeat on the talk track on Josh Downs. Fantastic pick in the late round of your draft. Jameer Dike, think that one's pretty solid. Devon Vele, I'm with you. I think that Devon Vele is a pretty safe pick to get some production this year. Even if they take a Carnell Tate or a Mackay Lemon, like Vele's still going to have a role. He'll still get you some weeks. Dontez Walker, I've never been a big guy on, but like you're stacking with Lamar there. And then you end off with Kincaid, likely Gunnar Helm, and Tonjes. Tonjes is going to get you 6 weeks at the beginning of the year. Kincaid, I've always been higher on. I love that reach pick. Isaiah Likely, if he ends up on a different roster, he's great. If he ends up on Baltimore's roster, I'd feel pretty good about him there too. And Gunnar Helm, everybody tells me he's great. I haven't seen enough from him, but it's screw Like, if he keeps playing well for Tennessee's offense, he could become the go-to guy for Cam Ward. So I like this roster. I think we got two fun teams, two interesting builds there, and we'll see how that actually ends up lining up. So we got our drafts, we have our rosters, and I am pretty happy with it. A Dead Man Soul threw in here. He didn't pick one rookie, which that's probably smart for most people. I have been enthralled with the rookie class. Everyone says this class is a weaker one. I'm willing to believe that every class could be weaker than we're expecting. So screw it.
So should we make a dynasty trade? Would you like my 2-2?
Oh, I'll always take a dynasty trade. I just won't take one for Justin Jefferson. I got in an argument this week over Justin Jefferson in my Tino 2 league. Blind Bandit was trying to trade me him for 106, and he's like, "Come on, Jordan Tyson's basically the same player." I'm like, I don't know that. I don't know that one bit. I'm never gonna sell low on a guy like Justin Jefferson. Are you?
No way. He's got top one potential, top one receiver
Exactly.
potential. That can't be said
And
about
JJM
anyone. He's
could get
not
better.
worth a first round pick. He's worth multiple first round picks.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think it's silly, but that wraps our draft here. You got anything else for the fans here, Scott?
No, it was fun. I'm gonna go fix the wires in the attic so that next time the antenna works. And looking forward to doing this again.
Yeah, and real fast here, Jamie. I agree. Jordan Tyson will be gone before the 106. That's why I told him he was selling snake oil. But that that's how I always felt about Justin Jefferson. Like you can bank that upside. And obviously, we didn't talk about it here, but League Champ, be sure to download, like, and subscribe. Check out our channel. We're doing some cool stuff during the off season. We're going to be doing some giveaways to the Fantasy Football Expo over this off season too. Going into some cool features. So stick with us. We're going to be doing some really fun stuff this year, and it has been dope being on the screen or stream. As my co-host always says, rookies forever, old guys never.
Peace.